Welcome to Celebrity Scoop, your go-to source for all things royal and celebrity. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow us for more exciting content. Today, we're delving into a royal controversy that has everyone talking. Sophie Chandauka, the former chair of Sentebale, a charity co-founded by Prince Harry, is at the epicenter of some explosive allegations. Sentebale is an organization dedicated to supporting vulnerable children in southern Africa, but recent reports suggest a darker side to the charity's financial dealings. Allegations are swirling around Chandauka, accusing her of spending an eyebrow-raising $600,000 on consultants and allegedly proposing a $300,000 salary for herself. This has led to a flurry of high-profile resignations from the charity, including Prince Harry himself. So, with a hefty $600,000 consultancy bill and a proposed salary of $300,000, what's the real story? Now, let's delve into this $600,000 consultancy fee. Quite a sum for a charity, isn't it? Sophie Chandauka, while chairing Sentebale, allegedly directed this massive amount towards consultants. But where did it all go? Sentebale is a charity, founded with the noble purpose of aiding vulnerable children in southern Africa. It's startling to consider how nearly $1 million were channeled into consultancy fees rather than directly benefiting these children. This expenditure is not only significant, but also highly questionable. Comparing this to other charities, it becomes apparent that this is not a common practice. Many charity CEOs around the globe do earn substantial salaries, but this number, $600,000, is a figure that does more than just raise eyebrows. Especially when you consider Sentebale's financial standing. One has to question if this was a reasonable request or an attempt to exploit the charity's resources. The critics, and rightly so, have argued that this spending was highly inappropriate. Sentebale relies heavily on donor funding and sponsorships. So the question arises, would these donors have continued their generous contributions had they known that such a significant portion of their funds would be allocated to consultancy fees, rather than going directly to the children the charity aims to support? With such a large sum going towards consultancy, it's no surprise that eyebrows are being raised. This spending has sparked an intense debate on the ethics of charity management and the distribution of funds. It's essential to remember that every dollar spent on consultancy is a dollar less spent on the children who need it most. This controversy serves as a harsh reminder of the importance of financial transparency and accountability in charitable organizations. It's not just about how much money is raised, but also about how that money is spent. In the end, it all comes down to trust. Can we trust that our contributions are being used effectively to make a real difference? Or are we simply funding inflated consultancy fees? This is a question that demands an answer, not just for Sentebale, but for all charities worldwide. Moving on to another contentious point, the proposed $300,000 salary for Chandauka. Let's take a moment to unpack this. In the world of non-profit organizations, executive compensation is a hot-button issue, and for good reason. It's a delicate balance between attracting and retaining top talent to run the organization effectively, and ensuring that the majority of donated funds go directly to the cause. The salary Chandauka allegedly sought is, by any measure, a substantial one. For context, let's compare this to the average salaries of other charity CEOs. According to a survey by Charity Navigator, the median compensation for a charity CEO in the US is just over $125,000. Even at the higher end, CEOs of some of the largest charities in the US earn an average of roughly $600,000. Now let's consider the size and financial standing of Sentebale. While it's a charity with a noble cause and high-profile founders, it's not a behemoth like the Red Cross, for instance. So, the question arises, was a $300,000 salary justified for the chair of Sentebale? Critics argue that it was an excessive demand, especially given the charity's reliance on donor funding and sponsorships. The fact that such a significant portion of the charity's funds could potentially go towards executive salaries might cause donors to think twice before parting with their hard-earned money. On the other hand, supporters might argue that Chandauka's experience and expertise justified the proposed salary. After all, she did serve as the global COO of Morgan Stanley's shared services and banking operations, a role that likely commanded a high salary. But at the end of the day, this is a charity we're talking about, an organisation that depends on the goodwill of others to function. One can't help but wonder, was this high salary justified or an exploitation of the charity's resources? Just when you thought the drama couldn't get any thicker, Prince Harry and all the trustees of Sentebale stepped down. It's a plot twist that could rival any Hollywood script, and it's left royal watchers and charity supporters alike scratching their heads in confusion. But what led to this mass exodus from the charity's leadership? Let's delve a little deeper. The resignations came amid swirling allegations of financial mismanagement, casting a long shadow over the charity's operations. With the financial irregularities under scrutiny, it's not hard to imagine why the trustees might have chosen to distance themselves. But was this a simple case of saving face, or were there deeper issues at play? Sophie Chandauka, the former chair of Sentebale, didn't go quietly. In a dramatic twist, she accused Prince Harry and Prince Ciso of trying to force a failure of the charity. If true, this would suggest a bitter internal power struggle, with the charity's co-founders pitted against its chair. These are serious allegations, and they've certainly added fuel to the fire of speculation. Were the princes really attempting to sabotage the charity they'd worked so hard to build, or was this simply a desperate attempt by Chandauka to deflect blame? On the flip side, some suggest that Prince Harry's resignation was a silent protest against the alleged mismanagement. If the charity was indeed being run irresponsibly under Chandauka's leadership, then Harry's departure could be seen as a refusal to be complicit in such practices. But as with any story, there are always two sides. The co-founders have vehemently denied any wrongdoing, leaving us to question who is really telling the truth. The drama surrounding Sentebale is a tangled web of allegations and resignations, and amidst it all, Prince Harry's decision to step down raises more questions than it answers. Was his exit a bold statement against the alleged financial irregularities, or was it a strategic move to distance himself from the unfolding drama? Was Prince Harry's departure a silent protest against mismanagement? Only time will tell. With all these allegations flying around, the implications reach far beyond just Sentebale. Remember, we're not just talking about one charity here. The questions raised by this situation touch on broader issues that affect the entire non-profit sector. Transparency and accountability are the bedrock of any charity. When these are called into question, the ripple effects can be far-reaching, undermining public trust and potentially impacting donations to other non-profits. This controversy also brings to the forefront the ethical considerations of executive compensation within charities. It's a delicate balance. On one hand, attracting top-tier talent often requires competitive salaries. On the other hand, these are organisations that rely on public goodwill and donor funding. It's not hard to see why a six-figure salary for a charity executive could raise eyebrows, especially when it's a charity like Sentebale, which is dedicated to supporting vulnerable children in southern Africa. Then there's the role of donors. When you donate to a charity, you trust that your money will be used to further the cause you're passionate about. But this situation serves as a stark reminder that donors also have a responsibility to ensure their money is being used appropriately. This might mean doing a bit of research before donating, or asking the charity for more information about how funds are allocated. In the end, it's about more than just dollars and cents. It's about maintaining the integrity of the non-profit sector and ensuring that the most vulnerable among us continue to receive the support they need. It's about ensuring that the trust placed in these organisations by their donors is not misplaced. The controversy surrounding Sentebale and Sophie Chandauka is a wake-up call, a reminder that no charity is above scrutiny, and that everyone involved, from executives to donors, has a role to play in ensuring ethical and effective operation. The need for vigilance and transparency has never been clearer. So, where does this leave us? We've explored the allegations surrounding Sophie Chandauka, the former chair of Sentebale, Prince Harry's charity. We've delved into the concerns raised by the reported $600,000 spent on consultants and the proposed $300,000 salary. We've pondered over the high-profile resignations, including that of Prince Harry, and the implications these could have on the charity's future and reputation. This controversy underscores the importance of transparency and accountability in the non-profit sector. It raises critical questions about how charities allocate funds and the ethical considerations of executive compensation. It also brings to light the need for donors to be vigilant about where their money is going. The situation at Sentebale is a stark reminder that even the most noble of causes can be marred by allegations of financial mismanagement. What are your thoughts on these allegations? Do share them in the comments below. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it, and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content. Until next time, stay informed.